Well, greetings NASCAR enjoyers, and I know I don't have to review these races, but since they are a part of the Daytona 500, I might as well do it. So yeah, tonight was the Duels, aka the Duels at Daytona. It is the race that determines who makes it to the Great American Race. Yeah, the second biggest race in America, just below the Indy 500. Although the Daytona 500 is still a spectacle to behold. But anyways, even before the race started, my boy, Ross Chastain, well, he's one of my favorite drivers in current day NASCAR and the one that I'm rooting for, has throttle issues and he has to go into the pits. Yeah, it seems like he can never catch a break. And then, after he leaves the pits, the race begins. And Chase Briscoe is the one that took pole position. Although, early in the race, guess who ends up hitting the wall after his tire gets blown? Yep, that's right, Zane Smith. And he's the one that caused the first caution of the Duels. Yeah. Pretty bad, isn't it? But even worse is the fact that Helio Castroneves, who looked to be doing pretty well, also ended up in a caution with Mike Wallace's replacement driver, Chandler Smith. Yeah, Chandler Smith, he hit the wall. And Helio Castroneves also got involved in that caution, which is not good for either driver, although Helio Castroneves still gets to race. But he won't have the full practice, sadly. But anyways, one of the highlights of the Daytona Duels is finally getting to see Ryan Preece unlock his true potential. Yeah, he is laughingstock no more. He is now an American, well, you know what. It's the title of one of the songs. I can't say it for monetization purposes, but he is that kind of driver. So yeah, Ryan Preece was actually doing pretty well, but who was doing even better, in fact, better than most of us, even Ross Chastain fans, would usually expect, is Ross Chastain. Yeah, he was actually doing better than Kyle Busch, who is usually the favorite to win the Great American Race. A lot of people want to see Kyle Busch win his first Daytona 500 and break the curse. So yeah, he was drafted behind Willie B, aka William Byron. But Bubba Wallace was also competing for his first duel win. And he wants to be the second 2311 to get, well, the second 2311 driver to get his Daytona Duels win. So it's a battle between Hendrick and 2311. But then, out of nowhere, Ty Dillon ends up in front. Yeah, Ty Dillon, the mid-pack driver, the 10th place driver. Yeah, he somehow manages to do well and end up in front and pretty much outperform his own equipment. And of course, we got another caution. This time it's a debris caution by Ty Gibbs. It's nothing special. So yeah, even though Ty Dillon was doing pretty well, he would not, well, sadly, win the first duels race, as he would end up going really behind. Like, he would end up going far behind as he would not get caught up in the draft anymore. So it was up to Bubba Wallace to take his first duels win. And by the final stint of the race, he does that. Bubba Wallace, hate him or love him, ends up winning his first duels race. And bravo, man, you did it. And he earned that win, especially when he has a new crew chief. And that crew chief that, well, he has also happened to be Christian Eckes' crew chief in the Truck Series. So, great choice, 2311. So yeah, the first duels race gets a 9 out of 10, but we gotta move on to the second duels race. And yeah, Denny Hamlin seemed to be leading the majority of the race, and he was battling Austin Cindric for the win. Yeah, Austin Cindric usually ends up in second place in the duels. But then, out of nowhere, Jimmy Johnson and Eric Jones yeet past Denny Hamlin and Austin Cindric. And of course, Kyle Larson was also competing to get into the Daytona 500. So yeah, it was mostly caution-free, and I say mostly as there's going to be a couple of cautions in the race. But anyways, Jimmy Johnson had to stop in for fuel early because, yeah, he was pretty hard on the throttle. And he burned a lot of fuel. So he had to stop in for fuel early. And he was no longer in the draft. And then, of course, we got our next set of drivers stopping in for fuel and so on. And then Brad Keselowski ends up in the lead. Well, not Brad Keselowski. The other Roush Fenway Keselowski driver actually incorrectly stated that. So I'm going to correct myself. Chris Buescher ends up leading instead of him. Yeah, and when Brad Keselowski attempts to block... Wait, not Brad, Chris Buescher. Yeah, when Chris Buescher attempts to block, Brad Keselowski ends up veering out of control alongside Alex Bowman and Daniel Suarez, and that causes the first caution in the second duels race. And I also like to mention, in the first duels race, Chase Briscoe DNF'd and Josh Berry's engine blew out. So yeah, neither one of them made it, which is sad. But anyways, Brad Keselowski cannot make it to the Great American Race, which is sad since he is one of the favorites to win it. And Daniel Suarez also seemed to be doing pretty good. I mean, I saw Daniel Suarez running up there with Eric Jones and the best of them. So yeah, in the final stints of the race, it was up to Austin Cindric and Eric Jones to win it. And unfortunately, a caution suddenly appears out of nowhere because of a wreck. Yeah, I know I'm not a fan of races that end under caution, but this was a sudden caution. This was a last minute caution, so it doesn't affect much. So yeah, it was a battle between Austin Cindric and Eric Jones, and guess who wins? Mr. Cinderblock wins. Yeah, Mr. Cinderblock ends up winning the thing. good, but I wanted to see Eric Jones win. It's still a good race, though. I give it an 8 out of 10. Not nearly as good as the first Duels race, in my opinion, where I finally got to see Bubba Wallace win. So yeah, Chase Elliott and Bubba Wallace won 2 non-points paying races. And that's good. I actually like that. It puts a smile to my face. Yeah, and I also feel bad for Chris Buescher not winning. I wanted to see him win as well. Because RFK seemed to be doing better than ever, especially with Ryan Preece finally unlocking his true potential. Like one of the Ninjago Ninjas. Yeah, he is laughingstock no more. He went from being the black sheep of Stewart-Haas Racing to being a true contender. What a big jump, am I right? Hopefully, he'll be able to win a race. Well, I'm not expecting him to win the Daytona 500. I mean, I'm usually rooting for Bushy or Ross Chastain to win it. Well, mostly Ross Chastain and Bubba Wallace, since Ross Chastain was robbed of a Daytona 500 victory last year. But I still think that Ryan Preece has what it takes. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, guess who made it into the show? Nope, it's not Martin Truex Jr. Because I'm not trying not to put out any harmful misinformation there. It's Justin Allgaier. Yeah! Yeah! They did it! Junior Motorsports finally makes it to the Great American Race! Yeah! And that is what puts a smile to my face. Dale Jr. is one of my favorite NASCAR drivers of all time, and his team deserves the spot in the Daytona 500, and it would be impressive if he actually gets a win. Well, not Dale Jr., but Justin Allgaier. And, heck, Helio Castroneves still gets to advance into the Daytona 500 despite missing the Great American Race because of that provisional spot that sparked up a lot of controversy. So yeah, the second Duels race gets an 8 out of 10. And what's the final score of the Duels races? Well, let me calculate it. Yeah, it's 17. It's 17 out of 20. Chris Buescher's number. So yeah, both duel races. Yeah, the Daytona Duels, because it's 2 separate races, gets a combined score of 17 out of 20. A first for the race review series. And Corey LaJoie also gets to race in the Daytona 500. And did pretty well, which is surprising considering that Corey LaJoie has never ran in the top 5 or top 10 before. He's not a winning driver. But I'm more impressed for Justin Allgaier, because Justin Allgaier definitely deserved that win. I mean, well, not the win, that spot. Because Bubba Wallace won. And Bubba Wallace can be happy that he has a Daytona Duels win. And now he can brag about it to Tyler Reddick. So that leaves Riley Herbst to be the last 2311 driver without a Duels win. Well, aside from Kurt Busch. Who I don't think won the Duels at all. I'll have to check on that. Yeah, Kurt Busch retired in 2022. And Tyler Reddick took his place. So yeah, 2 great races, and hopefully we'll have one great race coming on Sunday. So be prepared for the Daytona 500, guys. I'll be watching it on TV, but I'll still be there. Yeah, I'm not going to be live, not going to be attending the race live, but there is going to be another race I'm going to be attending live And yes, I am doing IndyCar race reviews. So the IndyCar race reviews is gonna get a hint. Yeah, the camera slightly exceeded the limit, but anyways, the IndyCar series is gonna get a hint of which race I'm gonna attend. And the reason why I wanted to do a race review on IndyCar races is because I actually enjoyed the series. But anyways, this is the Bandito signing off. If you like this non-points paying race, here's another non-points paying race that you might like to watch. And you know the drill by now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest Racer Cinema Productions videos. All those people who are already subscribed to my channel, all you have to do is like and comment. But anyways, this is the Bandito signing off. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.